maybe in the Super Series, maybe in the Lucas Oil Series, World of Outlaws Series, but it's out there. We're going to wrap it up real quick with a couple closing comments here with Brandy and the two boys. But again, this is the International Dirt Promotion studios here on location, Lancaster, South Carolina, with your host, Big Greg. Gator Videos on the videography, Mr. Jackie Sims for us here. Show is brought to you today by the good folks at the Chandler Collision Center located in Lancaster, South Carolina. Rogers Automotive, Lancaster, South Carolina. Prestige Paint and Body, Lancaster, South Carolina, and the Antioch Mini Mart stores, Lancaster, South Carolina as well. Closing comments, guys, we'll start with you, Brandy. Brandy, the career now, 25 years in racing. You want to eventually see the boys carry on the Baker name. The future of our dirt track racing sport and the business now. If right now, Brandy, if you were given that choice to get out of dirt track racing to see a better future for the boys, would we give it up in a heartbeat, or would we want to pursue the sport of, what you're doing in dirt track racing?
What you mean by that?
Well, in other words, you want to see the boys succeed and get their career going. If it meant Brandy stepping out of a race car right now to help better the boys' career, could you make that choice?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so you would do it?
Yeah.
Guys, you've been very involved in racing a long time. Communication, Austin, with you and Dad when it comes to racing. Tight communication, are we right there?
Well, you're right there. You have his opinions, you have my opinions, you have his experience on track, you have my experience on track. It's just you take his and you put it in consideration, and you just, when you're out there, you just judge it how you got it.
How much time do you spend, whether it's at the track or away from the track, talking one-on-one with Dad about racing? I mean, is there, I know y'all work and you have school and you have your priorities, but how much time do we actually spend talking racing?
Not a whole lot, maybe a couple hours a week, not much at all.
Okay, so it's strictly business then. School, work, racing is not a priority. It's a love and it's a hobby, but your priorities are family, school, and things like that. Andrew, question to you, same thing. You got school, you got work, you work for Dad, you work at the shop. It's a hands-on 24/7 with you guys. It's a non-stop deal. Communication with Dad, you're racing. Do we spend a lot of time talking to Dad about racing?
Well, we spend a lot of time bragging. Whoever done one's gonna brag.
And I heard that, guys, from so many people about bragging rights. And again, Brandy, the tradition of racing, being the fact that generations of racing, and we've got a long stem of history between the Bakers here. But Brandy, a lot of people, out there misconstrued things about people, about racing, about driving styles or skills. But what they don't understand is that everybody has two sides to the story. They have a cover and a back cover on the book. Mm-hmm. You have chapters in between. You have Andrew and Austin, but you actually have the book. You can predict. One last question. Your high point in your career, what was it?
You what now?
The high point of your career, the most memorable moment that you, Brandy Baker, had in your career racing. Was it a win? Was it anything in particular?
It had to be the first win. I believe it was at Chester,
Okay.
6-cylinder division. I believe that's the first win I ever had. And I mean, we raced so long, and people would talk about me. They say, "Why you go to the track, man? You gonna run at the back? You gonna run at the back?" And it was like we were gonna never win a race. I mean, you race forever.
Yeah.
And then once you finally get to that point where you winning, you don't want to lose.
You broke that barrier.
Yeah. It took forever. I mean, we run, I don't know how many races before we ever won a race. It's like you wasn't gonna win.
Did you ever think at one point that it's just, am I ever gonna win? Is this?
Oh yeah. I'd go to the race. I mean, when we go to the race now, we leave the house, thinking we're gonna win. Back then, I'd go to the race hoping the top 5 would wreck and I'd win. There wasn't no way I didn't have the race car to win. And I left the pit crew out a while ago. MP, he watches that car go around the track, and when I come in, he don't ask me what it's doing. He watches it on the track, and he starts working on it, changing springs or shocks. I mean, you can't win without a good pit crew.
That's right.
Shannon Munn worked on that late model for years. His daddy, Duke, JoJo's helping us now. You got to have a dedicated pit crew. If they would quit me today, I'd quit. You got to have a team that loves it.
Yeah. Oh, and your guys, they do stick with you through the thick and the thin part, and the highs and the lows. And Hey, that's racing. That's what it's all about, man. Well, listen, guys, we're going to wrap this show up here for today, but I want to definitely, Brandy, I want to thank you for joining us here today at the IDP International Dirt Promotion on location here. We are sitting right here in the Primus Mini Mart. We talk about what that had to do with Connection. This is one of Brandy's businesses here, and I want to thank you for the use of the facility today, for letting us come in here and do this interview. And Austin, your career, like I say, has been successful. You've got a good future ahead of you now. Big difference from the young guns versus where you're at now. But hopefully we'll see you back in the victory lane. We'll see you back up there more than one time again. And I want to thank you for being a part of the show here today. And like I say, just always remember one thing, and I tell this guys, I tell it to the young guys, no matter where we go, everybody is a winner out there. Everybody earns the right to be a professional, whether you're 16, 13, or 40 or whatever. You've earned the right, Andrew, to be a professional in the ranks you do, because it takes a lot of skill and a lot of talent to wheel a race car, and you've got the talent. You definitely know how to wheel a race car. But thank you again, Andrew, Austin, for being a part of us out here today. Good luck in your career and your success with dirt track racing, and hopefully we'll catch you in the victory lane and we'll get another chance to sit down and do this again. But guys, I want to appreciate all our listeners out there and everybody watching today on the presentation with IDP International Dirt Promotion here. Special thanks goes out to our videographer, Mr. Jackie Sims, here with Gator Video. Folks, if you need to get copies of the video, you remember you can always find copies with Mr. Jackie Sims, Gator Video. You can either do it on the internet or you can catch them at the speedways here. This is Big Greg on location here. Once again, all our sponsors, we thank them. Chandler Collision Center, Lancaster, South Carolina. Thank all the good boys over there at the Rogers Automotive, Antioch Mini Mart, Lancaster, South Carolina, Prestige Paint and Body. We want to thank everybody. Afternoon, everybody. Y'all have a great day. We'll catch you again at the Speedway. Remember, drivers, keep them left.
You got to know when to hold up, know when to fold up, know when to walk away, and know when to run. You never count your money. When you're sitting at the table, there'll be time enough for counting when the dealing's done.